Howdy there neighbors, Ian with eTrailer here. Today we're going to be installing and looking at our Stealth Hitch on our 2019 Volvo XC60. Let's get into a couple features and then that install. Best feature of our Stealth Hitch here is going to be this removable hitch receiver. So once that's unlocked and we just give this handle a good turn here, giving good support underneath the hitch, that'll drop out, giving us a beautiful flush look again, like there was no hitch on it in the first place. They do give you this nice little rubber cap that's going to slide up into the hole where this pin lives. That'll keep all that dust and debris and road grime off of this pin once we're going back in, making reinstallation extremely simple. Then we'll make sure our handle is in the unlocked position there, coming straight into that. And once in place, you'll see that handle goes back and there's very little to no movement there at all. It's going to boast a 600-pound tongue rating, so that's pretty high for this particular type of hitch. And you will want to double check the rating of your vehicle as well and go with the lower number of the two. This will take a standard 5/8 hitch pin here, not included with the kit, so if you did need a locking option to keep that bike rack or cargo carrier attached in situations where it may sprout legs and walk off, please look on the website for our options. For the pinhole, we are lined up directly with the back of the bumper here at its farthest edge, and then sitting from the ground to the top of the receiver 14 inches. Those both will kind of give you an idea of where your accessory is going to sit in this hitch. As far as the install for this one, it's not that bad. We are going to be removing the entire fascia assembly and then doing a little trimming on that. And if that seems like something you wouldn't want to get into, please check out our dealer locator on the website, and that'll help point you towards somebody that can get that taken care of for you. But if you'd like to do it yourself, let's go ahead and go through the steps on that, and I'll walk you through the entire process. To begin the installation, I went ahead and put some painter's tape around the edges of where the fascia is going to come away, not only on the fascia, but also up on the tail lights, and then up towards the back of where the fascia connects as well, just to avoid any scratching when we're pulling that off. Then we're going to hop over into the fender well here. Here in this tight space, we're going to be getting out these 6 T25 torque screws here, so just kind of work your way through each one. With those 6 removed, we're going to peel back our fender liner here to access this T25 that is upside down going into the fascia, and we will remove that one as well. Come to the rear of the vehicle, open up our hatch here. We're going to remove the bumpers on either side. They're just a single quarter turn out of there, and set those off to the side for now. Then we'll want to access this little panel here just using a flathead or a trim panel tool. You go underneath, give it some pressure and pull away, and that will come right out. Then we'll remove this bolt here. It is an 8mm socket to remove that. On the bottom of the vehicle, we're going to come to, there's going to be a set of 4 T25s we'll need to remove here at the very bottom. And that's going to allow us to get that heat shield out of the way. So now we're ready to remove the fascia. There is going to be a plug on the passenger side that we'll need to disconnect once we get there. But you'll just pull away at the edges. And make sure you got a second pair of hands to kind of help you with this, because we wouldn't want to have this great big old fascia pull down on any of those wires on the other side or accidentally drop. Then this is going to be the plug I was speaking on as far as getting those sensors disconnected. So just give that a good squeeze and a pull. That'll come loose, and then you'll be able to set the fascia aside. Now we'll be able to get all of the hardware that's holding on this rear bumper attachment, and it is a 15 millimeter. We'll just zip all those off real quick. And we'll go ahead and remove that bumper. I'm going to cut back the heat shield. We're just going to where it's already pre-bent. What we're looking for is roughly 15 inches of width here to cut that back. So we'll go edge to edge, kind of giving a little space between this right bracket on the passenger side and our cut line. Then we're going to take that edge and fold that down and then backwards away from that original leading face to make room for the hitch. I wanted to mention this little edge that ends up sticking out. You can always just go in, trim that round, so that way you're not having anybody that may end up trying to get that hitch into the receiver get cut by those sharp edges. Then we're going to take our hitch and go ahead and get that just hung on those factory studs there. The 3 studs we are going to use the factory nut on, and then the kit also comes with a bolt and some other hardware we're going to put in that 4th hole. And then we're going to take the provided bolts and then put on the lock washer and then the flat washer, adding that to that 4th hole on the vehicle. And we'll go ahead and snug everything down. And it is a 17 millimeter for these bolts here. And we'll repeat on the other side. Then we're going to come back through and torque all these to spec. You'll just check for that torque specification in the instruction manual. Now we're going to take this beautifully machined block here and line that up with our handle on the right. Run these great big 5/8 bolts through from the passenger side to the driver's side, and then add our nut to that driver's side bolt sticking out. And then again, we're going to come through and torque these 2 big bolts to the spec shown in the instruction manual. Then there's some measurements that are going to be in the instructions to be able to cut out the bottom of the fascia here. You can, if you need to, just kind of hold it up to the back of the vehicle and get that measurement yourself without having to try to figure out what they meant by the measurements. But we're pretty much cutting the same part that we cut for the heat shield and folded back, but we'll just go edge to edge as far as that. And then we're coming back to this rear lip here to make sure that everything will pass through and we'll have plenty of room for our hand for that grab handle. Now I wanted to mention I used a multi-tool to cut all this out. A pair of 10 snips would work as well. But if you do use a multi-tool to get those edges nice and clean, just come back with a razor blade, kind of run it along the edge, and that'll clean up a majority of those burrs and all the overflow from the cuts. Using our friend's help again, I got Aiden here going to help me put this fascia back on. We will want to remember to connect the sensor plug that's going to be on that passenger side while we're doing that. And then we'll just get these holes lined up with the tabs for each one and start snapping those back into place. And with that fascia back in place, went ahead and got all of the hardware that we took off put back in the reverse order. And that's going to conclude our installation and look at the Stealth Hitch on our 2019 Volvo XC60. My name's Ian with eTrailer. Thanks for watching.